Good morning, everyone. So, what we're going to be looking at today is kind of an application of what we've been doing the past couple days, dealing with our trig ratios. What we'll be looking at is everyone's favorite word problems. So, what we're looking at is called angle of elevation and angle of depression. Angle of elevation is going from looking straight out, up, because you're looking up for elevation. An angle of depression is when you're looking straight out and then down. So we're going to use both of those words to help us figure out how to do these word problems. So let's take a look at one. So in this problem, you are measuring the height of a spruce tree. You stand 45 feet from the base of the tree, and you measure the angle of elevation from the ground to the top of the tree to be 59 degrees. Find the height h of the tree to the nearest foot. So, pulling up our graphing calculator, because we will need this for our trig. Remember, we pulled up the graphing calculator, so we need to go into mode. We need to go down and over to degree, hit enter, and we get in second mode to quit. So, first, we need to identify what type of trig ratio it is. Now, fortunately, we give you a diagram already, so we can look at it and figure out everything. One thing that I would always recommend is to label your sides. That will make life so much easier. So here's our right angle, because the tree is vertical and perpendicular to the ground. So I know this side over here has to be our hypotenuse. Now, here's our angle. The side opposite of our angle has to be our opposite. And the side right next to it has to be our adjacent. So looking at the sides that we have something labeled on, I see that we have our opposite, or something for our opposite and something for our adjacent. So I know for SOHCAHTOA, can't be sine, can't be cosine. It has to be our TOA, tangent. So I know it's tan of our angle, so tangent of 59 equals our ratio of opposite over adjacent, so h over 45. Now we need to get h by itself, so multiply both sides by 45. And by doing that, h is now by itself, so we can go over to our calculator and type it in. So 45 times tangent of 59 is 74.89. Now, read the problems carefully. In this one, it says round to the nearest foot. So rounding this up to the nearest whole number. This 8 tells us that we need to round it up. So our height is going to equal not 74, but 75 feet. Okay, let's look at one more problem. let's look at this problem. So unfortunately, I don't give you a picture. So you guys get to suffer through Mr. Johnson's fantastic art. So you're skiing down a mountain with an altitude of 1,200 feet. The angle of depression is 21 degrees. Find the distance x you skied down the mountain to the nearest foot. So there's our lovely mountain. You're on the top of it. And it says angle of depression. So I know we're looking down. And we know the angle of depression is 21 degrees. So this has to be 21. The other number is this 1,200. So since it's an altitude, I know that's how tall the mountain is. And to put it in our right triangle, I know it's how tall, so it has to go over here. So when you record this, you need to figure out what we're talking about for the how far you ski down the mountain. So you don't ski down a mountain horizontally straight out. You have to ski down at the angle. So I know my x is here. Okay, so let's do what we did before and label our sides. Side opposite of our right angle is our hypotenuse. Side opposite of the angle that we have or care about is our opposite. And the side next to it is our adjacent. Now, because we don't have anything for adjacent, the only option that we can do is sine. So for this problem, it's going to be sine of our angle equals our ratio of opposite 1,200 divided by our hypotenuse x. Now, I know everyone hates fractions, so let's get rid of this fraction by multiplying both sides by that bottom. Yes, it's x in this case, but look at that, no more fraction. So we have x times sine of 21 equals 1,200. Now, x is not by itself, so we need to divide both sides by a sine of 21. So we're going to type this in our calculator. So 1,200 divided by sine of 21. And we get 3,348.5. Now it wants it in the nearest foot. So 5 and above, we round up. So it'd be 3,349. Okay. Remember, if you have any questions, we do have the office hours. Assignment.